Are you feeling uninspired and or unmotivated? Same. Oh, welcome to the club. Hey guys, welcome back. So if you watched my weekend routine as of late, I've been waking up pretty late past noon for the past couple of weeks, actually for the past 2 to 3 months. If you're doing that once every couple of weeks, or if you're doing that once in a blue moon, I think it's totally fine because sometimes we just need to rest. Our bodies, our minds are exhausted, and we just need to sleep in. We need to honor our body and do what it needs us to do every once in a while. But the fact that I've been consecutively sleeping in past noon for that long for someone who doesn't like, I know I don't need to sleep that much. I know I can get by with like good 7 hours of sleep. I don't need to sleep for like 10, 12 hours. So for me to do that, I realize I'm running away from something. I'm avoiding something. There's something that I need to face that I just don't want to face. There's like resistance, and I've thought about thinking about it, but I've never actually got around to like unpacking the thought of why I'm sleeping in so late and why I'm like what it is that I'm avoiding. And of course, during the day, I'm waking up at 6 or 7 because I need to go to work and I need to be a functional human being. So that's the week. So if you guys are asking me if I'm still waking up at 4, I'm not, but I'm trying to get back to it because today is daylight saving and I like using any little excuse as a way to like recharge or revamp my routine. New Year's, Chinese New Year, daylight savings, like yes, I'm gonna try doing that, but I'll get to that in a bit. I woke up yesterday, Saturday, past noon again. The fact that I woke up late, I set an alarm for 7 and I snoozed until past noon. Or actually, I might have turned off my alarm by accident. And that alone already gave me like massive anxiety because there's a reason why I wanted to wake up at 7. There's a video I need to film, there's a video I need to upload, and there's just so many things that I need to do. So that already made me like, why is it so late? And why did you let yourself sleep in this much? And then on top of that, I like waiting until the day of or the morning of for me to decide what kind of video I want to make because I feel like being spontaneous for me keeps things exciting, keeps me on my toes, and I think it makes my content and it makes what I do like a little more authentic. So anyway, I woke up super uninspired, super like, what's the point of it all? Why am I doing everything that I'm doing? And of course, like I have answers and I know why I'm doing all of that, but just sometimes when you're just so in your head, you just want to be there and like have a little pity party and like a wallow and just be in that place. And I caught myself. So I was like, you know what? I know what you're trying to do. And I'm not gonna let you do that. Well, I'm gonna let you do that, but while you're doing that in your head, I'm gonna make you physically go clean and go do the things that I know you will feel better doing. And it's so weird that I'm talking about me, like you and I at the same time. So anyway, I vacuum. You guys know how much I love vacuuming. I vacuum once every weekend. It just helps me feel so, the floors, there's no more dust. You see how much dust gets accumulated in the little vacuum, and the fact that my vacuum's like a little gun, that's kind of like a game, I made it into a game. So that alone was like, okay, doing one thing, great. Next thing, clean my whole apartment. Thankfully, my apartment's already pretty clean. I've been doing this thing where I, like, usually when I come home after a long day, you just like throw your clothes everywhere. It piles up here, right here, just piles and piles of clothes after a week or two of not dealing with it. So I made it a point to just put things back where they belong as I'm using it. So I didn't have much to tidy up, just kind of like picked up a few things, threw away a few things, and that was done. Cleaning done. Then I did something I haven't done in a really long time. Put on my workout shoes, went downstairs, and I worked out for the first time in about like 6, 7, 8 months. The last time I worked out was in this video. It was a long time ago. And after working out, something interesting happened the night before. So like everything that I'm talking about Saturday night. So Friday night, I just had this urge to just swim. I have a pool downstairs and I haven't used it for like the 1.5 years that I've been here. And I was just like, I want to swim. I want to be in the water. I love the water. I love the ocean. So I went out of my way, went to Target at 11 p.m., got goggles, got a swimsuit so that I could swim the next day. And right after working out, went downstairs and went swimming. There's just something about being in the water. I posted this on my Instagram stories of how between focusing on my breaths and between making sure I don't face plant into the wall, I experienced a flow that I haven't experienced in a very long time. When you're in the water, you're just fully present. If you get distracted, you'll just choke on water. Water will get into something and somewhere, and that's not comfortable. That's the first time I've been present like that in a really long time. All that is just to say the power of intuition, the power of knowing yourself and honoring your intuition and honoring your wildest dreams. I don't know, like wanting to swim isn't even a wildest dream, right? But had I not done that, I wouldn't have been able to experience and remind myself of like, okay, the importance of being present. What does it mean? How does it feel? While I was working out, I was listening to the Bullet Journal Method, which is the book that I'm reading right now on the Kindle. I downloaded Audible so that I could listen to it as I work out. And then in between working out, because what he was saying resonated so deeply with me, I started highlighting. I ended up downloading Kindle on my phone, and I would switch between audio and like highlighting the passages that like really spoke out to me. And let me just read one thing that was like a aha moment. Okay. Our lives are lived in seasons of more, seasons of less, seasons of triumph, seasons of loss. Each season sees our needs change. We live, learn, and adapt. So too must our definition of meaning. Things that grow in one season rot in another. If we blindly hold on to the past, we'll be forced to sustain ourselves with expiring beliefs from season gone by. No wonder we're often left feeling unsatisfied, empty, starving for substance. In order to live fulfilling lives, we have to embrace the shifting nature of our experience by making our search for meaning an ongoing practice. And this was exactly what was happening to me. My life seasons are changing, and change in any shape or form is uncomfortable. And instead of embracing it, like I knew it's coming. I know it's coming. I see it. I see it in the distance. Like the season is starting to change, and I feel it. You know, there's like micro seasonal changes and there's like big life season changes. And I think a big life season change is coming. And I've known that for the past few months. But for whatever reason, I've been resistant to it because I don't know, where I'm at right now is comfortable. A year ago, where I'm at now is like, whoa, how are you here? But now that I've been existing in this space for a few months now, for half a year now, it grew to become my comfort zone. I like to think of comfort zone as like, you know, a circle, you're in the middle. When you first expand, it's like, whoa, this is new, this is so weird, this is so strange. But then the more you exist in here, you get comfortable with it, and this becomes your comfort zone, and then you expand again. And then that initial expansion is like, oh my God, this is new, what's going on? And then you expand again, and I think I'm on like a big expansion. That's why it's like, I don't know, there's resistance. I talk about this all the time. When you're going through something, when you feel uninspired, when you don't feel like doing anything at all, just do one thing. Start from doing one very little thing. And I think an act of doing one thing and accomplishing one task will help you continue to want to do more things. So for me, it was actually making my bed. I woke up late, but I made my bed, started vacuuming, started cleaning. After I cleaned, I was getting my blood flowing, I was moving, I was active, and I was like, let's work out. So I went downstairs and worked out, and as I was working out, I was listening to this book that I've been reading. By the way, this book is so much more than bullet journaling. It's so much more to bullet journaling. If you're into self-development, if you're into self-care, if you're into productivity, this is an amazing book. Highly, highly recommend. Thank you guys so much for recommending this book to me. For those of you who recommended it to me, thank you. And yeah, so one little thing led to, like, it became a snowball effect and led to a much, much bigger thing. Although I didn't film yesterday, although I didn't do a lot of things that I had planned to do or that I wanted to do, I actually gained so much more mental clarity because I allowed myself to take a step back and to just breathe and do what I want to do for a day instead of what I felt like I needed to do, which is work. And I realized work is always going to be there. It's not leaving. It's not going anywhere. It's still going to be there tomorrow. It's going to still be there in a month. It's still going to be there in a year, 2 years, 3 years. So why not just do what you want to do sometimes and not be so hard on yourself? So that's something that I'm still working on. But I think yesterday was a very good example for me of how it's important to embrace change. It's important to embrace the seasons of life and the seasonality that is life. Because when we experience discomfort, when we experience things that make us resistant, it usually means because we're growing, we're expanding, changes are coming, and change is a great thing. And I think, yeah, like if I want to give you guys more context, this is gonna be like a sit down, just, you know, chit chatting, catching up with you guys. I feel like with my channel, I've been doing it long enough to kind of know what type of content you guys like. I know what type of content the YouTube algorithm likes. I know what keywords to use. I know, you know, from like a business perspective, because I come from a business background, I like building things. I like taking things from 0 to 1. And I think I took my channel from 0 to 1. There's 1, it could go, you know, 1 to 100. I think that's where I'm at now, of like how far do I want to take it. Same thing with Beauty Within. When I first started hosting on Beauty Within, the channel wasn't doing too well. We had 1 million subscribers, and at that time the videos were averaging 10 to 20k views per video, and for a channel with 1 million subscribers, the engagement rate is pretty low. How can we take it from 0 to 1? So 0 meaning the engagement rate wasn't that high. How can we create content? What type of content can we make that will appeal to our existing subscribers as well as new subscribers? I think over the past 6 months, after a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of some tears, no blood, but a lot of sweat, a lot of hard work, we did it. You know, like for my channel, it's doing well. For Beauty Within, it's doing well. I've successfully built 2 little mountains, you know, could be 2 little mounds. And now I'm at a place where it's like, okay, what's next? Do I continue building upon these current mountains that I've already built? Or is there mountains in the horizons that I need to climb? Or is there a mountain that's there but I'm not seeing right now, that I need to think about, that I need to really look inward and soul search to figure out what it is? I've always had a pretty strong intuition, and when I feel like something's coming, like something's for sure coming. And so the fact that I don't know what it is kind of scary, and it's very, I don't know, I'm a control freak. I like knowing what happens. I like knowing what's happening, when it's happening, how it's happening, and why it's happening. And I think because I don't know, and I've kind of taught myself to just embrace not knowing, embrace the unknown. I'm a little better at it, but it's still freaking me out. So I guess with all of this is just to this video, I don't know. I was gonna make it a vlog, but I was like, no, I've been doing so many vlogs, and sometimes I just want to live my life. I don't want to have to vlog it and like get the angles as I'm living my life. So I posted this on my Instagram stories yesterday, and so many of you guys responded saying thank you, or like I needed to hear the quote that I read earlier about changing of seasons. And I think with all of that, it just goes back to self-awareness and being still enough so that you can listen to what you're telling yourself. Yeah. Basically just being still enough, or just being in tune with yourself enough that you know who you are and why you're feeling the things you're feeling. Change is good. Seasonality is good. Life is, you know, there's ebbs and flows. It comes and goes. And, you know, the more we accept this, and, you know, I think we know so many things. Like that's the frustrating part, is that we intuitively know a lot of things, but to embrace it and to put these concepts into practice, and when these things pop up in our life, how to deal with it, our reactions to it, that's a different story. So I guess this is just a reminder for myself and for any of you guys who are feeling this way, that life happens, change happens, and that's totally fine. Embrace it, appreciate it, because these changes in your life is showing you and is showing us that we're human, and that we're growing, and that we're alive, and that we're breathing, and that we have the privilege to live another day, and to take another breath, and to ask ourselves these hard questions to get us closer and closer to where we ultimately want to be and where we ultimately want to go. And I think that's like such a beautiful thing that we forget all the time. You can't be grateful for everything, but you can be grateful in every moment. And I think that's such a powerful thing that I forget all the time because I'm human. With everything that I've been going through, I know to take myself to the next level, to level up, to move beyond this comfort zone that I'm currently in, to expand, I need to start implementing things in my life that I've been meaning to implement. And for me, I know I need to start waking up earlier, like 4 a.m. early. I know I need to take my spiritual practice a lot more seriously. I mean, I've been taking it seriously, but it's like with faith. You can say you have faith, but the depth of your faith, right? Or you can meditate, like you can physically sit there, but the depth and how deeply concentrated you are, how present you are as you're doing these things, that's like the diligence that I'm talking about. Yes, I want to start waking up early again at 4 a.m. so that I can meditate and do Qigong exercises for 2 hours in the morning, every morning before work, and go from there. I think once I start doing that consistently, as I did 2 years ago, yeah, it's crazy to say it's almost 2 years ago, I think I will just be consistently at a much better place. Because it's like, I don't like sleeping in. I don't like waking up so late. I don't like feeling feelings all the time. I mean, it's cool sometimes. Like, it's nice to know what you're feeling and it's nice to feel, but I don't want that to be my constant. Thankfully, it hasn't, but just even when I get small doses of it these days, I'm just like, ah. I'm so glad I'm not here consistently anymore. But because I've been there, I know what it's like, and I know that a lot of us are there. So with all of that, this is to just tell you guys that I'm gonna start waking up early again. Again, it's daylight savings. Great time to start a new goal, to pick up on those goals you've been meaning to pick up on. And I will hopefully make a video in maybe a few weeks. If I'm consistent with what I'm doing, I'll do an updated how to wake up early, or like do some sort of a vlog to share with you guys, because I need to keep myself accountable. And also because I've been reading Bullet Journal Method, I wanted to read the book before I actually started my bullet journal so I know what I'm doing. I'm halfway through the book and I think I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna start. I can't keep waiting. I need to like get my thoughts out on paper. And with that, thank you guys so much for joining me. And there'll be a lot is coming. I think the past 2 months have been pretty crazy. I've been shifting more of my focus onto beauty within. But bullet journaling starting, gonna start waking up early again. So much content can be made out of that. And yeah, maybe I'll share with you guys some developments in the coming weeks. Yeah, for that, thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Hug, hug.